Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wolfie TV. And of course, at the weekend, Wolves secured our Premier League safety, which means we can play these last three games, not having that worry, maybe finally enjoying some of the season. Of course, we enjoyed the big result at the weekend, but overall, this probably hasn't been one of the funnest seasons in recent memory. But things are looking good. Obviously, things have turned massively since Julian Lopetegui come in, and I feel like we've got a bit of aspirations and a bit of looking forward to what next season can bring. But of course, we have still got three big games to play, and this one comes Manchester United, obviously taking them away at Old Trafford. It's going to be a really interesting game because Wolves not too much to play for now, where we see us playing with a bit of freedom, a bit of enjoyment to our game, and just playing with, I guess, a bit of like real just relaxed feeling about us, which could actually help. On the other hand, Manchester United, they're going to have real big expectations. They've got to try and secure this top four place, but they have got a Liverpool team that are now creeping on them. It would be absolutely massive, wouldn't it, if United end up losing out on the top four to bitter rivals Liverpool. So they'll be desperate to get 3 points, which you also always think makes for a very interesting game, because what you'll then have is obviously a team that's got a lot of pressure on the shoulders, especially when you're playing at home. And Wolves, who I feel will be feeling quite relaxed. So I feel our boys will be wanting to finish the season strong, but at the same time, we know that the business is done for the season. So I think that's going to make things really be a very, very interesting game in general. Guys, obviously, as always, I'm going to go into a bit more on our opponents who we face, Manchester United, but also going into the team that I expect to play as well. But first, let's crack on with a little bit of Wolves news. And we're going to start off with, obviously, the news that has come out about season ticket prices. Guys, these were announced yesterday. I'm actually recording it just as they've come out. And once again, we see a price increase. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, actually, on the season ticket increase, because I have seen a real mixed bag with this. For me, the season ticket prices weren't awful. Someone pointed out that, they're below what inflation was. But the club stands to make an extra 1 to 1.5 million, I roughly worked out, from season ticket increases. You've got to ask, is it really needed, especially after the bad season that we've had? A lot of people struggling financially. Wolves, as just as a general city, were probably one of the more poorer cities or more deprived cities in the country. It does have to be said. So is it awful? No, but my message probably is to the club is, in reality, was it really needed? Because could you have not just maybe helped us out a bit? I'm sure we're all going to maybe find the extra few pounds that it's going to cost us to renew season tickets. Of course, if you're a family of four, I suppose it's going to be an extra few hundred you might have to find. But I'm sure we'll all love it. We love the club. We'll all be wanting to find the extra money. I'm sure we will. But at the same time, I just don't think it was needed. And that's just my 2 pence on that. I really will genuinely interested to hear what your thoughts are on the season ticket increases. But guys, just a quick one from me before we get back to this match preview. If you are enjoying the video, as always, please do me a favour, hit that like button. And if you're not done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. There's going to be plenty of Wolves content coming out over the summer as well. But let's get back to the match preview. But guys, let's speak about our opponents, Man United. Of course, as I've mentioned in the video, they'll be desperately wanting to get the top four. Things obviously have died off recently with the injuries that they've been getting, and they're having to play the likes of now Maguire, Lindelof at the back. They've obviously lost Varane, who was an absolutely massive loss. And their whole defence in general has just weakened ever since the two key injuries that they did suffer at the centre-back position. This has made Man United a little bit more for the taking, which we have seen with recent results. Obviously losing at the weekend as well against West Ham. I feel like this is one of these games where there's going to be a lot of pressure on them at home. They're going to need to perform. The United fans will be expecting this team to finish off by getting top four. And although they will argue that Ten Hag has improved things, it's going to feel like a real anticlimax to them if they lose out on the top four, especially to bitter rivals Liverpool. So this is going to be a really huge game. What I enjoy about these kind of games, though, is if especially when it's the home team. United are the home team in this instance, is if Wolves can get an early goal, that will add increasing pressure on United, which then could mean that they're even more for the taking, more likely to make mistakes. And who knows, we could even get that crowd at Old Trafford slightly on the back. I think this is going to be an interesting game for that reason. One thing you can't do if you're if your Wolves team is concede early. We can't concede early because then I feel it will just bring a really good feeling around Old Trafford, and it could be another long day for Wolves, similar to what we saw at Brighton. I'm hoping it goes more like what we saw against Villa. We get the first goal, we're able to keep things very well controlled, and we see out a good result. In terms of the team I expect us to play, I think we're probably going to go pretty standard again. Obviously, this has been the team that we've preferred in recent times, and for good reason. Pedro Neto, again, I thought was brilliant against Villa, showing some real passion, some real fight, and also starting to take players on again. I feel since his last couple of injuries, kind of lost that about him. His dribbling ability, his will to take players on. He's starting to face up to players and getting back to his best in that regard. And I'm really excited if he can have a really good end to the season. I think he's going to be a major, major player for us next season. Of course, apart from that, I don't really think there's going to be much change that we're going to see. I think Totti Gomez obviously getting his first goal for the club against Aston Villa, or his first Premier League goal at least. I think he's really firmed down that left-back position. And I think it's going to be the subs that I'm really more interested in, because I think this will be the standard, our standard 11, especially for now. I think Everton, we might give a few players a few minutes, a final goodbye, but we might do that in terms of substitutions rather than obviously, starting lineup wise, regardless. But the subs are going to be interesting. There's a few players such as Hwang, Podence, maybe Collins even. I think you've got to say Bueno too. These players that are on the fringes at the moment, there's a question to be asked of whether they're going to be up to it next season. And they're the players that, if they don't show some real promise towards the end of the season, Lopetegui might be looking to move them on one way or another, whether that's selling them or maybe with the younger players, loaning them out, obviously getting some experience so they can come back. Obviously, as we've seen, it's worked out really well for Fabio Silva, but there's obviously questions of whether he actually does still want to come back to the club. So this, I think, is going to be a really good game. I'm hoping that we finish the season strong, guys. In terms of my actual prediction for the game, I'm going to say, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, I'm going to go relatively positive. I think if we could get a draw at Old Trafford, that would be an amazing result. So that's going to be my call for this prediction. As always, guys, let me know your predictions. And if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll catch you on the match reaction. Have a good rest of the week. Take care. Goodbye.